Welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be doing another one of my flower tapestry squares. And today we will be doing the Alonsoa Meridionalis. And that is the only time I'm going to be saying the name of the flower because that was not easy for me to say. So yes, I'm just going to be calling it our red flower or the red flower that we're working on today. And again, I did it on this and I don't remember the name of the website. I did it and I didn't have it centered. So what I did is I have it printed. There's one row below it and I need 4 more. So it's going to be 5 rows and then 6 rows. And then for the most part, I believe it's centered. I believe there's 10 rows on either side of the edge. So I went ahead and I did my 40 chains and I went ahead and I did 5 rows. And on this one, I like to put a little squiggle where this is, and since I'm starting on this side and I just want to start right here instead of coming this way, I'm going to put a little squiggle right here just to kind of let me know like this is where the tail is. And also I have a link down below to my Pinterest where I have the photo of this so you can follow along as well. And for this project I am using a like canary yellow or mustard yellow, whatever you can call it, a darker maroon red, which I don't know if it's showing up super well on here, a not bright red, but it's still maroon compared to another red I have, and I have a bright red, like here's a bright red next to it. And then I'm using like a forest green and then a more sage green. And that's all in, those aren't the names of the colors, I can't remember what they're all called, but that's in the I Love This Brand yarn. And then I'm using this Yarn Bee yarn ID in oats for the background as I usually do, and my 5mm hook. And I have a whole series where I've made 3, or sorry, this is the 3rd one I've made, and I plan on making, I want to say it's 18 or 16, I don't remember. There's quite a few of them that we're going to be making slowly but surely. So yes, if you like this and you want to see more, I do have a playlist dedicated to those. So now that you know what you need, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I like to personally count how many stitches to the next color. So there are 11. And then coming this way, there are 27. I will zoom you in so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just kind of, I do these so later I don't have to count as much. If I'm over here, I can just be like, okay, this row's 10, and then just count over or wherever I'm at. It just makes it a little easier for me personally. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do 11 stitches over, do my green, and I'm going to go up a little ways because it's pretty simple at first. And do work on that. But before I do, I am going to show you my process. So I am taking my 5mm hook, I'm chaining 1, I'm turning my work, and then I'm going to chain 10. I know there's 11, but I'm going to chain 10 for a reason. So I just did 10 single crochets and I need 1 more before I get to the next color. So I am going to go ahead and pull up a loop. I'm going to stop. I'm going to pull this over. And the color I need is a darker green. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my darker green. I'm going to grab my darker green. I'm going to lay that in the back. I'm going to grab a loop and pull that up. I'm going to do my 1 green stitch. I'm going to pull them both forward. Or all 3 forward, sorry. Grab my background color. Pull that up. And then I need the green in about the same spot, so I'm just going to go over it once, drop it in the back, and then I'm going to continue this row out, and then I'll meet you back here and show you how to do my next one, and then I'm going to continue on for a few more rows, so I will be right back. So I am starting on the next row. I need 27 stitches before I do my first color. So I'm going to go in for 26 stitches and then I'll show you because you always want to do all the way up until one before so you can get ready to do your color change. So I'm going to go ahead and go 26 in and I'll meet you there. Okay, so I had realized, and I may have left this in, I'm not sure, that I was one off on the side, so you actually only need to remove one block on the side. So there was actually 28 stitches until we do the green. So I went ahead and I did 27 stitches in. Also, I did mean to crochet over this tail. I can weave it in later, it's just extra work for me, so don't be like me and actually crochet over your tail a little bit. I was just not paying attention. Whoops. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the 28th loop, pull that up, grab my green, pull it up, and then pull this over to hold, pull through the green, do my one green stitch, pull the green over, and then, like I keep saying, I like to go over a color one over, even if I need it in the same spot, just kind of hold it in place. And I'm going to drop it. And then I'm going to go a few more rows in until I have like a color change. So probably either here or maybe here. And then I'll meet up with you then. That way I can show you a little bit more and then we'll keep going from there. So I will be right back. Alright, so I am on the row where I start this green. I'm coming this direction and there's 21 background stitches until I get to these lighter green. So I went ahead and I stopped on the 20th row. I'm going to grab my more sage green. I'm going to go ahead and lay that in what is appearing to be the front because this is the back. Oh, actually, sorry, I'm ahead of myself. I need to start the 21st stitch, lay this down across it, lay this down, pull it up, and I'm going to do 2 of those stitches, pulling the green to the side, and then I need the green later in this row, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it along with me. And I'm going to continue to do 4 stitches. And now on the 4th one, I'm going to grab it, I'm going to pull it up, and I am going to go ahead and drop this green just so it's not too bulky. I'm going to pull this loop up, I'm going to pull the green up and then pull this to the side. Finish my last background stitch. Do my green stitch. And it's about to become a little bit difficult because I'm going to do that stitch. I'm going to do my one background stitch to crochet over the green, but I'm also needing to pull this light green over. So I'm letting the dark green fall, and then I'm doing my one light green stitch, pulling it over, and then I'm doing one stitch over the green and letting that fall. And then I'm going to turn it around just to check on everything. And everything appears fine from the front. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off this row, and I'm going to meet you up here where I'm doing a few more stitches. But yeah, that's what I have so far. And I'll probably meet you when I introduce the red. But before I get going on that, I do want to remind you to make sure to mark off your rows as you finish them. And after I get so many rows in, I do like to kind of just take my ruler, lay it across the middle of the X I did on either side so I can go right down the middle of that row and just mark it off. And I'd like to do that every maybe 5 rows or so, just to help myself keep track. So I will be right back as I work on that. I also want to note that when I came this direction and I was doing this one on the next row on my way back, I went ahead and I picked it up and I carried it over underneath until I got here, just so you know. Like, this yarn was over here where I dropped it, and I picked it up and I carried it until I needed it here. Anyway, I am here. I'm about to add red. There are 17 stitches of the background color until I get to the red, so I'm on the 16th one. So I'm going to do the 17th one, and it's the lighter of the two reds, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And right now I have it to where the front is the back half of it, so I'm going to lay that across it. And I'm going to lay the background color and the red across. I'm going to grab that, I'm going to pull it up. And then I'm going to do my 2 red stitches. And pulling the red over. And then I'm going to do, let's see, on this one, this time, instead of going over it once, I'm going to go over it twice. Actually, no, since the green is there, it could be difficult, so I'm just going to go over it once. I'm going to drop it. And I'm going to do one more stitch part of the way. I'm going to grab the green. I'm going to switch the places. I'm going to pull that through. And then I'm going to do one stitch of the background color. I'm going to pull the green up, and I'm going to pull the light green and the background color to the side. Pull that through. I'm going to drop the light green, and then going over the background color. Oh, actually, no, don't drop the light green. I didn't realize you need it, my bad. It's hard to see with all the yarn in the way. So I'm going to pull that up. I'm going to do my one dark green. I'm going to pull the dark green and the background color to the side. Do my one light green stitch, pull both the greens to the side, I'm going to drop my dark green, do one background color over the light green, drop it, and that is that row done, and this is where I'm at. So I'll probably meet back with you in probably about 10 rows, so probably somewhere up here-ish. This is what I have so far. And by the time I get back to you, I will have added the other red and the yellow. But also, don't forget, after every 1 to 2 rows, untangle all your yarn. Don't forget to mark off your rows so you know where you're at, just to make sure everything's good. I know none of this is the fun part, but you need to do it or everything will become a big mess like I have going on right now. So I'm going to take care of all of that and I'll meet you back in just a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to pull this up and zoom in a little. Alright, so I did some cutting. So on this green piece, other than maybe some of the ones you saw me do, some of the rows you saw me do where I pulled the green over, I did most of this with a separate green chunk. So here are 2 ends for one piece, and here are 2 ends for one piece, which I think these two are the 2 that go together. But I went ahead and I cut the green because where I'm at now, like I wasn't, or where I ended up being, I wasn't gonna have green for a little bit, and I didn't want to like weave it, like pull it and with all the yarn and it'd be bulky, and I didn't want to like stretch it a long way, so I just went ahead and I cut it. This one I'm doing a little bit different than the others just to try some new stuff. I also, the yellow, after I did the yellow and I did a few stitches over the yellow, I just went ahead and I cut it as well. And the same after I did this last maroon, I went over it a little bit and I cut it as well. So pretty much everything is cut except for obviously the background color. And then I still have the dark green attached, and the red one I'm about to cut, which I'll go ahead and do that now. And I'm leaving kind of longer in so I can weave them in a little bit and have a little bit to work with later. So the back on this one is going to be a little messy, but I feel like it'll make the whole thing look a little better because since this one is such small detail, I don't want it to be too bulky under the thread. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom you out now. And now I'm going to have red on this side and green on this side. So as I come across here, I'm going to add the red back in. And then on the side, as I come over here, I'm going to add the green back in. And as I come this way, I'll do the one green stitch and then I'll crochet over it until I get here. And then I'll drop it. That way when I'm coming back, it'll just be right there for me to grab. But yeah, and then I'm going to add these colors back in as I go. So this is where I am currently. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on this and I'll bring you along with me. This is 14 stitches until the red one, so I'm going to go ahead and do 13. That was the 13th stitch. This is going to be the 14th one. I'm going to grab this, I'm going to pull this over. I'm going to grab this red. I'm going to lay this in the back, pull this through. And then I'm doing 2 stitches with the red, so I'm going to go over the tail of the red. So 1. I should have grabbed the green. I'm going to go back and I'm going to grab the green and pull it up with me. And crochet, crochet over it. So I'm just going to grab that. Grabbing that, pulling these 2 over. And I'm just showing you my like thought process and all this because sometimes I think I want to do something and I change my mind how I want to do it. So I want to use this to show you how you can figure that out for yourself as well for any other projects you may do. So I'm going to go ahead and do my 2 red stitches. I'm going to stop right there. My next stitch is the background color. I'm going to do my one background color. I'm going to pull everything but the green to the side. I'm going to grab that, and then I'm going to drop the red in the back, and then going only over the background color, I'm going to pull that up. I'm going to pull these both over, and I'm going to grab my green, my light green, dropping that in the back. I'm going to pull that through. Then going over the tail of that light green as well, I'm going to do one light green stitch. I'm going to pull everything but the background color to the side. And then I'm going to do one stitch. And then I'm going to drop the dark green in the back. And then let's see here. I'm going to go over the stitch for 4 more stitches, so I'm going to go over it for 5 total stitches, and then I'm going to drop it. I'm going to go ahead and drop that, and then I'm going to continue on this, and I'll meet back up with you probably somewhere around adding these other colors. So I will be right back. Okay, so there are 12 stitches until I get to this red one, and I'm currently on the 8th one. I'm about to start the 9th one, and I'm going to take the yellow, and I'm going to go ahead and introduce that now, so hopefully when I get further in and I'm doing all that color changing, it's not an issue. So I'm just going to crochet right over the top of that. So that was 9, 10, 11, 12. This is where I add the red, so I'm going to pull the background color and the yellow over, grab the red. I'm going to do one brighter red stitch. I'm going to grab the maroon from the back. Do one maroon stitch. Pull everything but the yellow to the side. I'm going to go ahead and drop the bright red in the back. Do my one. Actually, no, I'm still going to need that red. What am I doing? Keep the bright red. I'm going to do my one yellow stitch. I'm going to pull everything but the dark red to the side. I'm going to do one stitch, pull everything but the red to the side. And I'm doing one red stitch, so I'm going to go ahead and drop the yellow. I'm going to do the one red stitch, pull both the reds to the side, grab my background color, and let's see, there's one background color, and then the dark green, so I'm going to pull everything to the side, grab my dark green, which I have to pull over a little bit, and then I'm going to drop both of the reds, and then do my one dark green stitch, pulling that green and the background color over again, grabbing the light green, oh no, sorry, I am doing one more background color, so doing my one background color, pulling the dark green and the background color to the side, grabbing my light green one, sorry, it's hard to see this with all this going on. I'm then going to drop the dark green, and then going over the background color, I'm going to do my light green stitches, which are 4. And this is the 4th one, so I'm going to pull it over. And then I'm going to do my 1 green stitch. And then on my next row, I'm not going to need light green, but I probably am going to crochet over it until I get over here. That way I can grab it when I get to the next row when I'm coming over. It's a little closer and it's not so far away. It's more over here than way over here. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the light green. And I'm going to continue to do this probably, I don't know, maybe I'll pick back up once I'm up here. We'll see. So I'm going to continue. This is what I have so far. And I'll be right back. Alright, so I just finished the row I was talking to you about, and I'm coming back, and I figured I'd go ahead and show it to you. I'm on row 15. I'm going to go ahead and go under the green and then into the next loop and just crochet over it until I get to probably the 20th row. So that was 15, 16, Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just drop that there. And remember, when you're working with the back and the front, like the physical back of the project and the like facing forward, you're going to bring this color up and then pull this over. But yeah, I just wanted to show you I was bringing that over just so when I'm coming back here, it'll be ready and available right here. So I'm going to continue this and I'll meet back up with you in a little bit. Okay, so I just got done doing the row that's just the 2 light green and then the 2 light green, and that's the only thing on that entire row. And I went ahead and I cut every single thread that was attached except for obviously the background color. So a lot more loose ends back here than usual. And I'm going to go ahead and there's 15 until I get to my first set of green, which I know I should have left it, but I didn't because I cut the wrong thing. So you don't have to cut the light green. I did on accident because I was trying to cut, I think it was the red, and I accidentally snipped the green. Whoops. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go 10 in, and then I'm just going to add the green. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to add a few more. I'm going to add the red just so it's in there. So I'm currently at 5, or sorry, 6. So that's 10. I'm starting 11, and I'm going to grab my green. I'm just going to lay it in there. And I'm going to crochet over it. So that's 13. This is going to be 14, and I'm just going to go ahead and grab my red and plop that in there also. So let's see, double check. So I'm on 14. So this is going to be 15, and I don't want too long of a tail in the back, so I'm going to go ahead and grab the green and pull it a little, and same with the red. Alright, so I'm going to pull everything to the side except for the light green, and then I have 2 stitches of the light green. And I'm going to pull everything to the side except for the background color. Pull that through. Do my one stitch of the white, or the background color. Pull everything to the side except for the red. And then we have 2 stitches of the red. Pulling everything to the side except for the background color. And then, since I don't need the green for a bit, I'm going to go ahead and I need the red over here. So I'm going to go over the red for like 4 or 5 stitches. Go both the red and the green. So there's 5 stitches. I'm going to go ahead and give that a little tug, and I'm going to drop the red, and then I'm just going to go over the green for a couple more stitches. Then I'm going to drop the green, and then I'm going to continue this row out, and then on my way back, I'm going to grab the red, pull it up, crochet over it until I need it again, and this is what I have so far. I'm going to keep going, and I'll meet you back probably either when I start adding these other colors or once I get to like this one. So that's what I have so far, and I will be right back. Alright, so I just got to this row where it's gonna start with the green and then the red and the maroon, and on this maroon I just carried it over with the red, and I'm working my way over. I add the green on the 16th one. I'm currently on the 10th stitch. This is going to be the 11th stitch, and I'm going to just pop that green in there to start crocheting over it. And then I'm on my way over, I'm going to grab the red and the maroon. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing that. Yeah, I'm on stitch 15. I'm going to pull the green to make sure the tail is not super long. So this is going to be 16. So I'm going to pull all the other colors to the side except for the green. Do my one green stitch. And then before I continue, as you're going through this whole process, again, don't forget to count all of your stitches every so often to make sure you still have 40. Don't forget to mark off your spot, and don't forget to untangle your yarn. So just saying. Oh, and I did that stitch all the way through. I didn't mean to do that. So green, pull everything to the side except for the background color. And I'm going to go ahead and do that one more time. Pull everything except for the red to the side. Pull that through, and then I'm going to drop the green in the back. I'm going to do my 2 red stitches, pulling everything to the side except for the background color. And then I'm going to go ahead and drop the red, and then I have one more background color. And pull that over, and then I have 2 maroon, which here's 1 maroon, and then I have some light green, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my light green and pull that in there to start crocheting over it. So I'm going to do 1, and I'm going to make sure the tail on that isn't too long, and I'm going to pull everything over except for the background color. I'm going to do my 1 background color stitch, pull everything over except for the light green. I'm going to do one light green. And I'm going to go ahead and do my second light green before I drop the maroon. So I'm going to pull both colors over. That. I'm going to do one stitch. I'm going to drop the maroon. And I'm going to do 4 more stitches and then I'm going to stop. And then I'm going to drop the light green. And then I'm going to drop the green. And that's where I'm at now. And I'm going to go ahead and untangle all of my stuff, get everything sorted, and I will meet you back probably up here when I'm adding the yellow. So I will be right back. Okay, so I am doing the row with this yellow, and I'm coming from this way. I went ahead and I just did this part, and there are 6 stitches between here and here. And for the light green, there's too many rows and too much space, so I'm just gonna crochet over a little bit and cut it. But for the green, I'm gonna carry it over until my last white stitch, and then I'm going to drop it so I can pick it up and use it here later. But about halfway here, I'm going to say probably 3 stitches in on the 4th one, I'm going to add the yellow. So I'm currently 2 stitches in. I'm going to do the 3rd one. I'm going to start this one. I'm going to grab the yellow like I said, and I'm going to pull it over. I'm going to go ahead and drop the light green, because like I said, I can't really do anything with that. I'm going to go over one more time. I'm going to drop the dark green. And then I could have crocheted over the maroon, but I had a lot of other strands going on, so I'm just going to carry it over. It's not really that big of a deal. There are 5 stitches. Here's the 6th one. I'm going to go ahead and just crochet over that maroon so it's in there. And to make sure, okay, the yellow tail isn't too long. So I'm going to start that. I'm going to grab the yellow in the background color, pull it over, grab the maroon, and then I have 2 stitches of the maroon. Grab everything but the yellow, pull it over. Do my 1 yellow, pull everything but the maroon over. And then I have 1 maroon stitch. I'm going to pull everything but the background color over. And then I'm going to crochet over both colors. So I'm going to go ahead and go over the yellow 3 times. I'm going to drop it. And I'm going to go over the maroon just like 2 more times. And I'm going to drop it. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut the yellow because I don't need it again till way over here. And as for the maroon, I'm going to keep it because I'm going to pick it up. And I'm going to crochet over it until I get here and then use it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off this row, and then I'll probably meet you somewhere up here. So I'm going to finish this up. Ugh, I untangled before I started this row, and somehow it's already super tangled. Anyway, I'm going to finish off this row and meet back up with you somewhere over here. So I will be right back. So I am right here where I'll be adding this red. There are 14 stitches until I get right here. And I'm currently on the 10th stitch. Like this one, when I finish it, will be the 10th one. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna pop some red in now, so it's a little easier for me. I'm gonna crochet over that. And then in this one, when I go through, I'm also in the back gonna grab the maroon just to pull it up. Also gonna zoom out to make sure I'm in frame. So I'm gonna count my stitches just to check. So that is 11, 12, 13, and this is going to be 14. I'm going to go ahead and pull everything but the maroon to the side. Do my maroon stitch. Pull everything but the red to the side. Do my red stitch. Everything but the maroon. And then I'm going to do 2 maroon stitches. Pull everything over. And also bring the green up from the back and pull it over as well. I'm going to do 1 background stitch, pulling everything but the green over. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop the maroon and the red in the back. And I'm going to do my 1 green stitch, pull that over. I'm going to go in. I'm now going to grab my light green. And I'm just laying that across the back. And then I just want to make sure I'm doing this right. Okay, so I have 2 light green stitches. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that and the green, dark green over, and the light green. I'm going to go ahead and pull through the loop. And then I'm going to do 2 light green stitches, which I'm going to do 1. I'm going to drop the dark green. I'm going to do 1 more, pull it over. And I'm going to go ahead and just do like 5 stitches of the background color before I drop the light green. Because in areas where I don't have a lot of color changing and I don't need to do just the 1 stitch to hold it down before I have to do other things, I find it easier to go over it a little bit and then carry it back before I have to use it because it makes it a little less difficult, tight, and a little wonky. So this is what I have so far. It's looking really good. I'm really liking it. And then, let's see, I am right here. So probably on my way back, just a couple, probably like on the 3rd stitch away from the light green, I'm going to add the yellow and then go through. So on my way back, I'll pick up there and show you that process. So I'm on the 10th stitch in. I'm going to go ahead and just grab the yellow now. I'm just going to lay it over here so I can grab it easily to crochet over it. I'm going to grab it and I'll pull it a little bit so the tail's not so long. That is the 12th one. I'm going to go ahead and grab the green and crochet over it. 13. Alright, this is going to be the 16th stitch. So I'm going to pull everything except for the light green over. pull this through, and then I'm doing 3 light green stitches. Oop. And pull the dark green up to crochet over as well. That's my last light green stitch, and pull everything but the background color over. I'm going to do 1 background color stitch. I'm going to pull everything over except for the dark green. I'm going to pull that through. I'm now going to leave the light green behind and just carry over the yellow and the background color. I'm going to do my green stitch, pulling everything except for the background color over. I'm going to pull that through. And then when I go into the next stitch, I'm going to go under the red and the maroon, go in, pull my background color through, and my first stitch after that is going to be maroon. So I'm going to pull everything except for the maroon over to the side. I'm going to do my 1 maroon stitch. And at this point I can drop the green. I'm going to do my 1 maroon stitch. I'm going to pull everything over but the red. I'm going to do my 1 red stitch. And then I'm going to pull everything over except for the yellow. Do my 1 yellow stitch. Pull everything over except for the red, the brighter red. I'm going to do 1 stitch of that. And then I'm going to pull everything over except for the background color. And then it looks like on my way back I'll be using red and maroon, and I won't need yellow anymore. So I'm going to go over, I'm going to crochet over everything for 5 stitches. Actually, I'm going to go for 3. I'm going to drop the yellow just to get it out of the way. And then I'm going to go over the red and the maroon for 2 more stitches. I'm going to drop that, and I'm going to finish off this row. And then I'm not going to have much left, so I'm going to finish up these last, let's see, 1, 2, 3 rows of color, and then the rest of the background. And so I'm going to go ahead and just finish up everything, and I'll meet you back to do the border around the edge because we are literally just like this close to being done. So I'm going to finish that off, and I will be right back. So I just got done doing my last row, and so the way this is laid out, it's 40 stitches across and it's 40 rows, but it's going to end up being 41 by the time you're done because, let me zoom out, because I just got done doing my 40th row this way, and I'm going to stitch all the way around it. So I'm going to go down, and then when I get to the bottom I am going to do another row across and stitch up, and then I'm going to tie it off here because I'm just going to count the one that I just did as the final row. So instead of 42, it's 40. So the way I like to start it is that stitch that we just did, that very last one. I'll show you again and zoom you into make it make more sense. So I go in that last stitch, I do my last single crochet, I rotate my work, and then I go into that exact same spot and do another stitch, and that is the first one. And to make sure you know where is what, you can go ahead and put a marker in that one if you want, because sometimes it's hard to tell which stitch is the first one for the sides. And then I'm just going to go in. It should be kind of at the end of each row like a little hole. And I'm just going to go at each one, counting on my way through. So 1, 2, 3. 9, 10, and then once you do your last one, you're going to rotate your work and into that same loop. And I'm also going to crochet over this loose thread. But in the same loop you did the last one on the side, I'm going to do another one. And again, you can mark that or leave it. I'm going to go ahead and mark it in case I lose count. And then just like on all the other corners, the very last one you do, you're going to do another one in the same one when you turn your work. So in all corners, there's going to be 2 single crochets. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up this side and the top, and I'll meet you back up here to tie it off. So I'll be right back. So I just did my 39th one, and I'm going to go into the spot that the first one on this corner was in and do my 40th single crochet, go into that first one on that corner, pull through, chain 2, pull out a tail to weave in, and I'm going to weave in that in, finish taking care of the back of this and block it, and I will be right back for the final reveal. And this is the finished product once I have weaved in all the ends and I have blocked it. And I know I probably say this each time I make one, but I think this might be my favorite one so far. It's little, it's intricate, it's very cute. I really like it. And I like how, since it's kind of like curved, like this amount of space is the same amount of space is here, and then this bigger space matches like here, and this is really cute. I like it. So I think this might be one of the ones that ends up on my bigger tapestry. We'll see. But yeah, I really like this one. If you make it, make sure to post it on Facebook or Instagram and tag me so I can see it. I would absolutely love to see it. If you have any questions about today's video, please feel free to ask in the comment section below. If you'd not like to ask your questions in a public setting, please feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. And don't forget to thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it. It really helps me out, as well as don't forget to subscribe, please, and thank you. And as always, thank you so much for watching this video,
and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye!